And there we are. I was waiting. I'm like, okay, is it coming? All right, come here, baby girl. Oh, had little Miss Bonnie here. I got to move over though. And she was in my way. All right. Um, her and Clyde have absolutely been up my behind since they came back, or since I came back, I should say. Oh my goodness. So, all right. Well, welcome everybody. We got Carol Prince is in the house. Sarah D 419. JJ's here. Cassandra's 14. Dale from Ohio. We got Kimberly Swanson. Sam Grissom. Mary Taylor's in the house. Janet is here. So welcome everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys are. I hope you had a good weekend. It was interesting weather today. I can tell you that. Um, but before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And if you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate it. So I would just ask and again, if somebody comes in and says anything, please do not engage with them. Let the moderators just take care of it. They're looking for attention, so let's not give it to them. All right. All right. So that being said, if you have something that you want to have stand out for me, all cap locks, please. It makes it easier for me to see. And so I'm just putting that out there ahead of time. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and get this out of the way nice and early in this live stream. I'm going to hear it and I know it and I don't care. It's not my fault. Well, people will say, well, it is your fault. Well, it's really not my fault because it's not what I wanted, to be honest with you. So before I left for New York, I looked at Kali and I went, crap. She is very pregnant. Okay. And so every day when I was in New York and I was communicating with Steve down here, I said, she hasn't had those puppies yet, has she? And he's like, no, not yet. And I'm like, okay. So got new straw out in the runs. You saw me doing that if you watched the earlier video today. And so I got new straw in for the dogs, new straw in for the chickens, and did all that. And so I had called Steve and said, listen, we're going to do hot dogs today. I had gone shopping yesterday, left the hot dogs in the fridge. I got everything else in the freezer. But I said, so we're having hot dogs today. So he's like, okay. So we were in the pavilion having some hot dogs, me and Steve and Hella, because Hella's got to have her hot dogs too. And so I had like 2 buns left over, and I had some eggs here in the house. So I'm like, I'm going to give the pups the eggs and, give them the bread. And he's like, okay. So I said, I'll be right back. So I head over there and I hear, I'm like, oh no. And sure enough, in the kennel area, on the straw, there was a puppy. And Kali, and the boys were like sniffing the puppy. And I was like, oh God, here we go. So I went in, I picked up the puppy, took Kali out, put her in the wuss layer, and got her settled in there. And then, as of right now, the last I looked, she has 7 puppies. So, yeah, not what I wanted. I did not want to breed her with her brothers. It happens. It happens in nature, but it is what it is. And, it's, so we got to deal with it. So I am going to have puppies to get rid of. I already, believe it or not, have 2 of them are already spoken for. A male and a female already spoken for. And I don't even know what I got yet. Haven't even really looked. So, yeah, well, when I separated her before from the boys, I said, if she's knocked up, she's going to have those puppies right around the same time Hella had her puppies, which means the pups will be a year old on the 2nd of December. And she just, like I said, she just had these puppies today. So I wasn't far off. And they waited until I got back. It's like every time the last 2 years I go to New York and come back, and now I got puppies. So, but I have no intention of keeping any of these puppies. Okay, I'm just putting that out there ahead of time. If anybody's interested and wants a puppy, please contact me through email, and we will go from there. So we'll get things figured out. But yeah, I'm going to be selling them for $500 a piece. They'll be ready in 8 weeks. So if anybody is interested, like I said again, please let me know. I did not want her to get pregnant at a year old. Jay just said need to get her fixed. Well, I did want to breed her, but not now. So I probably will get her fixed just because I don't want this again in 6 months. I don't want her to get wore out having puppies. So, so we got puppies again. Wintertime again. I'm like, oh my God. But this time I have the wolf's lair. So she and the puppies will be in the wolf lair and the boys will be in the dog run. So they're glad that I have the other dog house so that they are able to get out of the weather. I'm going to be getting out there and finishing that off, getting more plastic on the inside. What's the over-under event keeping one? No, RC Kev. Thank you very much for the donation. No, I do not need any more. I got 5 dogs now, and now I got more puppies, so no. But they're all, like I said, the first one that was born was big. I was like, holy crap, that's a big puppy. I mean, it was literally like this long already. It was a good sized puppy. And but she's doing really well. I just checked on her maybe an hour ago. And she looks like she was doing okay. But anyway, so that's where we're at. Yes, we got puppies again. I'll do a video tomorrow and let everybody see the pups. And Ed, can you check your messages and show the picture? Let me take a look. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, wow. All right. So I'll show you guys this. That is Mark's foot where he cut himself. I don't know how clearly that's showing. But he tried to cut off his big toe with a chainsaw. But that's what, a couple weeks out, and now the stitches are out. So, but yeah. What do we got? 208 in the chat already. We got 68 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time. Also, it does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. So I gotta adjust this if I can here just a little. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Anyway, also again, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I do thank you ahead of time for that. So it's been an interesting day here today at the homestead. We had sleet last night. It was coming in, sleeting pretty good. This morning, there was like a light glazing of ice. And light glazing of ice. And then it started raining. And it's pretty much, oh, you thought you were getting a picture of the puppies? No, not yet. I mean, she's literally just had them. So, but it'll be interesting. Like, it's so funny because whenever, like when Hella had her puppies and they were all born, they all came out black. They all look black. And then obviously, Kali lightened up and Genghis, he lightened up, so, and then Zeus and Caesar were darker, stayed darker. But it'll be interesting to see, as they develop and grow, what they end up looking like. So we'll see. But yeah, it was just like I said, about an hour ago, I went in and checked on her, and there's at least 7 right now. So, according to Ryan Hall, y'all got nasty winter weather coming. I think it was like for Tuesday or something. We definitely, excuse me, it was not pleasant today, but it, like I said, it warmed up to like in the low 40s today, and so so far, Broken Dolly, she's had 7 so far. So far 7. Actually, I can tell you. Let me look at my forecast here, and I can tell you what I'm looking at, or what they're saying anyway. Let me see. I will tell you in just a moment. But yeah, so that was a surprise today. with her having the, I knew she was due. Like when I left, I was like, "Oh my god, this dog is so fat. She's gonna have these freaking puppies." I said, "I hope she doesn't have them." So tomorrow looks okay. Tuesday, we're looking at like 38 for a high, and definitely looks like rain throughout the day, up till about noon, and then it tapers off. So we'll see. But that really looks like the only day that we're gonna have, you know, any kind of chance of snow. Tomorrow's going to be 42. Oh, that's today. Today's 42. Tomorrow's going to be 43. So, and in the 20s at night. So, it is, like I said, it is that time of year. So, and tomorrow's the 1st of December, which is amazing. Uh, man, time goes by so freaking fast. But our high today was 34, supposed to get 35 tomorrow. Yeah, we had 41 today. They're saying 42 for tomorrow. So I definitely am going to get out tomorrow. I have a little bit more running around that I have to do. Today was definitely not going to be a running around day. Today was kind of a catching up, you know, I'm actually feeling pretty decent finally. Things have returned to normal, from the other end, which has been nice. God, I'll tell you what. Whew. We just stopped with a serious snow warning, and now it's coming back in tomorrow around 1ish, at about half as bad as yesterday. I gotcha. But hey, like I said, we're heading into December, so the weather's going to be what the weather's going to be. But getting closer to that solstice, which means then the days start getting longer. I hate this time of year when it's so dark so early. Can't stand it. I cannot stand it. So, but I never used any Imodium. Nope, never used anything like that. My system had to readjust. I think I ended up, getting some yogurt, and I ate some yogurt, and that helps your gut health. So I did that, and I think that made a big difference. I actually, once I did the yogurt, I started feeling better. But yeah, it took a while. I mean, my system went through something traumatic. So she's not rejecting any. No, no. When I went in there just a little while ago, they were all nursing. She was doing a good job. It's so bizarre how instinctively they know what to do. I mean, obviously, dogs and cats, and they've been having animals forever and a day without us around. So, you know, yeah, not planned. What is what it is. Hey, I hear you. I hear you. But no, I don't plan on keeping any of these puppies. 5 dogs is too many that I already have. So this litter of puppies, I want them all to be gone. So I will be, like I said again, if anybody is interested, please let me know. Kim, I know is going to take one. She's going to take a male. CC, the guy that was the stud for Hella, his male was the stud for Hella. They had gotten a female. That female ended up getting what the heck did it have? What's the thing that they get from the cats? I can't think of what it's called, but that dog got sick and died. That puppy. So I had told him when I thought, like when I seen Caesar locked up with her twice. Parvo, yes, it was Parvo. The dog got Parvo and died. But anyway, I had told Cece, I said, if Kali is pregnant, which I said, I hope she's not, but she obviously was. I told them that I'm giving them one of the females. Because I felt bad, that the dog that they had gotten had passed, didn't make it. Yeah, so hey, like I say, it is what it is. So I'm sure I'll get people will say whatever they're gonna say. I don't give a crap. I honestly don't. You can all say whatever you're gonna say, and that's that. So that's where I am. But do I know the most effective way to get rid of ringworm? I would tell you just go online, do your research, look it up. I'm not going to give out medical advice on here. I'm not doing it. I'm not a doctor. So as a healthcare professional, you can get in big trouble for diagnosing, giving cures, and all that type of stuff. So I don't even touch that. Whenever I have somebody say to me, hey, I have X, Y, or Z, what do you think it is? And I'll say, it sounds like it could be X, Y, Z, but go to your doctor and go get a checkup. That's what I always tell people, go to that doctor. That's why they went to school forever. So, so anyway, so that's my advice. So go to the doctor. But if you know it's ringworm, the best way to do is to go and get it squared away. Things happen and it's out of our control. Absolutely. But I'm still going to get judged on here because, their brothers got their sister pregnant. So it is what it is. And I'm like, whatever. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. But all right, so so actually Kim is going to get to see the puppies in like 2 weeks. So, and then probably the next month after that, she could probably take one back with her. That'll be right around 6 weeks, but we'll see. But anyway, so that's where we're at with all of that right at the moment. So we're up there. We're at 282 in the chat, guys. We got 106 thumbs up. So real quick again, and we're going to get into the topic here in just a second, I promise. It was just this kind of, I knew it was coming. I knew she was pregnant. She was looking, like I said, when I left, she was looking so fat. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, please don't have these puppies till I get back. And she waited just like Ella, waited till I got back so Dad can take care of things. So anyway, if you have not shot thumbs up yet, please do so to show support. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much ahead of time. It really does make a big, big difference with the algorithms. And, also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you also to please subscribe. I appreciate that as well. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And again, I thank you ahead of time. Okay, so let's get into topic now, okay? Sorry, I just I knew, because like I said, the whole time I was gone, I kept saying to Steve, she had him yet? She had him yet? He's like, nope, nope, nope. And then there she was today. And actually, I will tell you what, the boys were really good. The boys were really good. They were in there sniffing the puppy and like looking at it, and she was like didn't know what to do at that point because like where am I having the rest of the puppies, and this one's just laying there already. And so, but they were really good about the whole thing. There's a topic, I know. Imagine that, Okie Forge. All right, so topic, right? We just have had this attack in Washington, D.C. Obviously, very calculated. The guy drove from Washington State, across the country, had plenty of time to decide, yeah, this is not for me. I don't want to do this. This is not a good idea. Plenty of time to think about it. I've been there. I was on my way to do one of those trips one time. And thank goodness the person lived all the way in Florida. And I got to North Carolina, and I was like, I had time to think, and I had made the right decision by not doing what I was going to do at the time. Worst part was I knew I could do it and get away with it. Okay. But I always said to myself, I've always said, if I did it, I would spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder, waiting for that day to come when they came knocking on the door. And to me, it wasn't worth it. Okay. It wasn't worth it. But, and there's no guarantee you're getting away with it in the moment either. Who sees you, blah, 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 and all that. So I made the right call in my situation. But this gentleman had almost 3,000 miles to decide not to do this. And he came there purposely for a reason, killed the one woman. The other guy, I think, is still fighting for his life. You shoot somebody in the head with a 357, chances are it's not going to end well. I would not be surprised if the other National Guardmen didn't make it either. We'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely premeditated. Now, I saw something today that really pissed me off, to be honest with you. They were already trying to make this guy like he's the victim. He came here and he's trying to assimilate to a new country and there's different rules and blah, blah, blah. Now, I ain't buying any of that crap. This is a country where you can come, you have an opportunity, you can do anything that you want to do. You can be anything that you want to be if you're willing to put in the hard work and the effort. That's it. That's what it comes down to. You put in the work, you can be successful, or you can play the victim and, poor me. Oh, it's always somebody else's fault, and never take personal responsibility. But, I know people are going to talk about, like they said, this guy was an Afghan national. Okay. A lot of Afghanis did work with the U.S. military. They helped a lot of the U.S. military men out, okay, as interpreters and whatnot. When the U.S. left, they took a lot of those interpreters and their families, back to the States because they knew that if they stayed, they would be killed because of the fact that they helped out the Americans, right? So, there's a lot of people that we helped in Afghanistan that, are good people that came here that have done whatever they're going to do, become part of America and all that type of stuff. Because one individual, decides to, and for who knows what reason. I will tell you what, like I said, I honestly believe the legacy news media is culpable in a lot of the stuff that's going on now because it's a brainwashing. They get on there. They talk about, Trump this, Trump that, and all this stuff. I'm going to tell you what. I would be hard pressed to realistically, everyday Joe American citizen, regardless, left, right, whatever they are, independent, whatever they are, if they're in an area of high crime and the local government is not doing anything about that crime, and then Trump says, hey, well, we're going to bring in the National Guard, clean things up, get rid of this crime, right? And we've seen the results, right? Crime has gone down in these areas where the National Guard have been deployed. And Still, you have these lunatic liberal mindset politicians don't want um the National Guard in there. They don't want crime to be down, and I don't get that at all. And I get it, it's a slippery slope having US troops on US soil doing policing. But when but when you have a local government that's not doing that to help their people, right? Somebody's got to do something. And Trump has taken the bull by the horns. And I know a lot of people don't like that. And like I said, again, anything that man does, they're vilifying him no matter what. No matter what. So, yeah, bottom line is this particular individual chose to commit murder. That makes him alone responsible. Exactly. Exactly. And, there are people, a lot of people out there with mental illnesses that feel justified in doing what they're doing. And, yeah, an Afghan threatened to blow up a building here in Fort Worth. He got arrested. I heard about that one too, Sonia. I heard about that one as well. But like I said, again, people make individual choices. That's on them. You don't vilify absolutely everyone else because of the actions of, one or two individuals. That doesn't mean the whole group of those people, like all these people and I don't know how many we brought over from Afghanistan. I have no idea. I don't know what that number is. But, but again, like I said, you bring in the National Guard and, they actually do the policing that the police are not allowed to do. The whole thing with the cashless bail, obviously that's not working. Well, now you finished all the rest of that. Mm-hmm. I see how you are. Yeah, well, after the live stream, I'll get you more. Okay? Come on, come up and say hi. You know you want to. You know you do. Yes, you do. Come here. Give me a kiss. Here, right here. Thank you. Good girl. Miss Hella. All right. Okay, down, down, down. Good girl. She had to come up and say hi. I knew she was going to. But are we seeing a trend, right? Is this trend going to continue? I think we will continue to see people making decisions based on, the fact that they feel justified in their actions, because Trump is bad and he's a Nazi and the ICE agents are the Gestapo and now you're militarizing, using the military. Like I said, again, the whole thing with the military, if these politicians were doing their job, there's the bottom line. If these politicians were doing their job, we wouldn't have to use the U.S. military National Guard to come in and do the job for them. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And the thing is, I work with a couple of guys from Afghanistan. They are decent people. Yeah, like I said, you can't vilify everybody because of the actions of a couple of individuals. Now, I know, like I said, you look at a lot of, there's a lot of Muslim people in this country. All right. And there's been a lot of Muslim people in this country for a long time. It doesn't mean that all of them are looking to force everybody else to be Muslim. I mean, I know that there's those different imams out there that are preaching that, and they, preach whatever they preach, but, not all of them think that way. So, again, get rid of the people that, don't want to assimilate, that don't want to be part of American culture, and then you have, the honor killings that go on and all this type of stuff. And I've heard stories about decent people who flip. Folks, I'm going to tell you what, there's people out there of every color, right? Of every color that have had a job somewhere. They lose that job. They call it going postal, right? Poor postal workers get a bad rap because of that. But they call it going postal They go back into work and they start whacking people, right? I mean, it happens. We've seen it over and over and over again. It's not because of their religion. It's not because of what, whatever, but they have a mental break. They have a mental break for whatever reason. But when you are continuously inundated day after day after day, I think, what was it? Hillary Clinton was the one that said it. I'm not sure if it was her, but it was one of them. It was a Democrat that said, if you say a lie enough times, people will start to believe it. And I don't know exactly if it was her that said that or if it was somebody else. I can't remember who exactly said it, but that was what they said. So if you push something enough, even if it's not the truth, people will believe it to be true. And that's just a fact. And when you have people that are not mentally stable to begin with, things can happen. I think it was Pelosi. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was a Democrat that said it. Okay, Pelosi. All right. Well, I couldn't remember who said it, but yeah, so I mean, and that just goes to show you what the agenda is. They have an agenda. They're going to push the agenda. They're going to do everything that they possibly can do to vilify the guy. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I've been seeing gas prices down substantially. Okay, you know, but down big time from what it was when Biden was in office. Imagine that. When you decide we're going to drill, we're going to get the oil, we're going to do what we need to do, and then the gas prices go down. Now I realize that food prices are still way too high. I don't see those going down. I don't see your gas and electric going down. I don't see rent going down. But I actually, in New York, there was a place in New York that I got gas. What was it? 286, I think, which I was shocked to get gas at 286 in New York. And I stopped and I gassed up. So it was the average up there was about 309 in New York is about the average. 319 in some places, but about 309 was the average. But then I come back to West Virginia, and there was one spot that the gas was 266. Locally, I paid 284 just yesterday when I went out. I paid 284 for gas. So, but yeah, it's definitely cheaper than it was. That is for sure. We're still around $4 in California. That doesn't surprise me. California's nuts. That's nuts. But again, financially, people are hurting, folks. 245, Delbert said today. That's cool. People are hurting financially. So, with the gas being cheaper, that definitely helps. And I'll tell you right now, if Harris had got in, it wouldn't be cheaper. What about nuclear energy? Trump is for nuclear energy. I don't like nuclear energy. When you have a half-life of the spent uranium and the half-life is 1,000 years, I don't think that's worth it. That's just my take on it. And then you could have a Chernobyl incident, and then everything is destroyed around that plant for how long? They still haven't gone back into Chernobyl. That whole area is shut down and will be for like a long, long time. And I know people have gone into there, but still. Oh, that's cool. Okie Forge says, for those interested in solar generators, Opus has released their Guardian 6000. It's a 12240 volt AC, and it's expandable. That's very good. That's good to know. Yeah, the technology always continues to improve, which is always a good thing. So like when I was up there with Heather, again, she's got to get her system upgraded. But do they sell off-road gas in New York? Well, I don't know what you mean by that, JJ. I have no idea what you mean by that. So rent went up for us from $436 to $493. Yeah, that's a big jump. And like I said, the rents are not getting yet, and that's cheap. Mimi, that's cheap in comparison. to a lot of places. I mean, a lot of places are just absolutely crazy. Marked gas. I still don't. What do you mean marked gas? I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah, on a fixed income, yeah, that's outrageous. I know, like, so Margie is non-ethanol. I there's yeah, you can get ethanol free gas. Yep, yep. Um, but I talked with Margie, and she'll know in December what her lease doesn't renew until May, but she'll find out in December how much it's going to increase. Now, they were on a where she's at. She's it's not like a senior high rise, but it's a senior complex, and so she was saying that the deal that they had with New York State, it was for 10 years. That's over. So she's curious to see how much her rent is going to increase. As she said, if it goes up too much, then she goes, then I'm definitely coming down to West Virginia. And I've told my sister, you are more than welcome to come down here, to be down here anytime you want. I don't have a problem with you coming here. We'll get her set up, and then she could be here if she wanted to be. I like having family around, so that's not an issue for me. And you know, my phone bill went up, mortgage went up, electric went up. Oh yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. What do you think of the President Trump shut down airspace over Venezuela? I'll tell you what. The last thing we need right now is to get into another conflict over what, you know, over what. So, yeah, I don't like it. I know that he shut down the airspace, which technically is an act of war, right? I mean, think about it. Tell me that's not an act of war. Um, Not a good thing. I don't, like I said, I just the whole situation down there, with all of a sudden now we're blowing up boats, you know, allegedly being used for drug running, which they could be. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's just that situation is not a good situation. I do not see that ending well, at all. I see we're at 329 in the chat, guys. We got 138 thumbs up. We're gonna try to see if we get to 200 today. So that's what, 62 more. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, again, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. Again, I really do appreciate that. The more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So that's another reason why I do appreciate it. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get more notifications, or all notifications. And I thank you ahead of time. So now we're at 150. So we need 50 more, guys, 50 more thumbs up. And thank you ahead of time. It always comes down to oil, Danny Richardson. You know, we're not attacking countries, it seems, right, that doesn't have something to offer us, something that we can take advantage of. So, you know, Afghanistan, that wasn't about freeing anybody. It was about controlling the opium, number one. And I realize the opium trade is only what, $200 million a year, or whatever the case may be. But rare earth minerals, that's a big one. And so, yeah, we were there, and I'm sure we had a lot of control over that. So, but yeah, like I said, it's like we just let other countries do what they're going to do. Over there in that situation with Venezuela, now all of a sudden they're the bad guys, and we need to go in and do something. I don't like it. I really don't. I don't think it's a good thing. Like I said, we don't need to get into any other conflicts. We have to stop being the policemen of the world. It's not our responsibility. You know, you want to stop drugs at the border. Any border agents that are you know, bought and paid for, get rid of them. And when I say get rid of them, in China, right, if you are caught running drugs, They execute you. Period. That's it. End of story. We start doing that here, it'll give people a whole different kettle of fish to think about. No due process, nothing like that. You get caught doing stuff like that, put a bullet in their head. It'll change people's minds about doing certain things, and only the hardcore will do it. Then at that point, there's a lot of money to be made in the drug trade, a tremendous amount of money. So you're always going to have people that can be bought and paid for. Politicians, government officials, judges, local police, border patrol agents, all of that. It happens. I mean, it's a reality. Okay. It's not like I'm saying anything that's not true. Of course it is. They had some politician, up in Boston it was, that I think it was Boston, it just got popped and had 2 pounds of cocaine, and like all this money. There's money in it. Somebody's going to take advantage of it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And that's not going to change. But you want laws like that, you need to move to another country. I'm just saying, you want to stop it, that's how you stop it. Well, you'll never stop it, but you could slow it down. That's all I'm saying. We're too soft, folks. That's the problem. We got people like that, right? Oh, well, if you want to think like that, go move to another country. Well, no, you know what I mean? Well, you want to let them all just keep doing whatever they're going to do? But yeah, you'll see less crime where it's legal to carry. Isn't that interesting? That I'll tell you what, they were talking about that the US has like the third worst murder rate in the world, okay? But if you take out the 5 worst cities that we have in the United States, which have the 5 most gun laws, right, in those cities, most restrictive gun laws, I don't know how far down it drops us, but it drops us down exponentially. So again, if there's that kind of crime, when you take that alleged victim, right, when you take that 80-year-old lady and you let her be able to protect herself and carry a gun, so when the mugger comes up and tries to rob her and she can shoot him in the face, it ends 2 things, right? That criminal will never commit another crime because he's gone, and that lady's able to keep her stuff and protect herself, and it gives people pause. It makes people think, is it worth my life to try to rob from people that may actually shoot me, right? Think about it, folks. If there's no fear of the criminal knowing that there's nobody's going to do anything about what they're doing, then nothing is going to change. It's just a fact. That is just a fact. But if they know there's a possibility, it's just like, I can't remember where it was. Criminal breaks through the skylight to rob the house, falls through, hurts themselves, sues the homeowner, and wins. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I'll tell you what, like I said, and I have said this before, I probably shouldn't say it online, but I'm not calling the police, folks. That's all I'm going to say. I won't be calling the police. I won't be involving them. If somebody comes here with bad intentions, it's going to be what it's going to be. So that's all. But yeah. So if that makes me crazy and terrible person, oh well. But dead men don't tell lies. That's one thing I do know. That's one thing I guarantee you that I do know. The dead men don't tell lies. So anyway. Oh, like New York or here in West Virginia, right? Yeah, call dial 811 to make sure you can dig exactly. It wouldn't be on my property anyway. I'll just say that too. Yeah, come in, dig it all up, folks. Look all you want. No, I hear you. I'm just goofing. I'm just goofing. So, but I'm just saying, it's like when you involve the police, it causes all kinds of other issues. There was a guy that they were doing a home invasion. I don't know where it was, um, and older gentleman, and he killed like 3 of the 4 home invaders. And of course, his family was suing him because he didn't have to kill them. Well, guess what? They didn't have to break into his house either, but they chose to. You reap what you sow. That's an old saying, and it is so true. You reap what you sow, so you get what you get. But that is a good point. You never know, though. Anyway, what do we got? 326 in the chat. We're at 174 in the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support. We're trying to get to 200 here, so we got 26 away. So again, I appreciate that ahead of time. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And again, thank you ahead of time. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll go back to now we can do egg count. Now that I'm back in West Virginia. Overcast, crappy, lousy day. New straw in today for the birds. So how many eggs? Yeah, I'll show the puppies. I will show the puppies. How many eggs today? Yes or no for Miss Betty White. And of the 3 Easter eggers, how many of the Easter eggers laid? So give you guys a moment to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. So just give you guys a moment, and we will go from there. So, but no, I'll tell you what. It was nice today to get back into somewhat normal routine. You know, I was like getting up, and I said, okay, now that I got the straw, and I ended up using, like I said, I had done the wolf's lair yesterday, and then I used almost 2 full bales, whatever was left between the chickens and the dog run. I used a full bale in the dog run. So, but yeah, it's, you know, it goes quick. And somebody was asking me, and I did reply to them. They said they were paying $8.50 a bale for straw. And Very Real Life Freedom was asking me this one. We're paying $10 a bale for straw. So that's how much that cost. All right, let me give you the winner here. Hold on, let me go back and where was that? Okay, if you had the same guess as the Garden Life, right? The Garden Life, 7 eggs today, no for Miss Betty White, and 2 of the Easter eggers laid. So few of you had that correct answer, but the Garden Life is the winner. So congratulations, you've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So there you go. But yeah, I was pretty happy with 7 eggs today on a day that was absolute garbage outside, and you know, they were not having fun. You know, you can see they were not having fun. But I think what I'm going to end up doing too, on the one side here, like I have the tarp on the back and I have a tarp on top. I think I'm going to put another tarp on the one side, so they have that whole corner is going to be blocked off from any wind and snow and stuff like that. So I think I got another tarp here, so I'm going to grab that and put that up. But yeah, tomorrow I do have some running to do. So I'm going to do that and get that done, and we'll get rocking and rolling with what we need to do. But see, the worst part now, okay, when I work on the doghouse now, finishing up what I need to do with the doghouse, the boys are going to be in there. I won't be able to leave them in the wolf's lair because they won't be in the wolf's lair for the next 2 months at least. So, yeah. Pine shavings are that price here. Hay is like $8. Okay. Yeah, I pay $10 a bale for straw. So it's not cheap, but it works the best, I find, you know, as far as that goes. And it helps keep the chickens warm, which is important. Ed, since you've been there in West Virginia, what's the coldest temperatures we've dealt with so far? We had that one winter a couple years ago where we had it was like almost a week straight of really, it was like sub-zero temperatures. I think like during the day, the high might have got up to like 1 or 2. That was before I had the camper skirted, okay, and I couldn't get the camper above 50 degrees with the heat running nonstop. So can I lock them in a smaller pen while I work on a dog? I could. I probably won't though. I'll just go in, and if they come in with me, then they come in with me. Which they will, So, but yeah, they'll be fine. I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, it's but yeah, it's like I said, it's the other day when I got home here that night, it went down to like 17. Now I've kind of slacked a little bit. I got a couple of windows that I got to refix. I got the plastic up, but I need to put the felt back on there. So I got a couple of windows that I got to refelt. But the other day when it was like 17 degrees and really windy outside, it only got up to about 64 here in the camper. But I actually have an extra propane tank with a heater here in the camper that I utilize as well, and that seems to work pretty decent. Like I said, if I get to where I'm like, okay, it's getting chilly, I'll kick that on for 10 minutes and it'll crank it in here. It'll crank the heat up. So, but I like it cooler when I'm sleeping anyway. So, that's not a big deal. But anyway, I think we will see more of these type of attacks that have been happening because of the legacy news media and the propaganda that's being put out there. Again, when you continue to have uh, mentally unstable people out there and they're inundated with this propaganda, because that's what it is, nonstop. Joseph Goebbels had it down, right? Where do you think they're getting their playbook from, my friends? Okay. Do you think Congress should get rid of daylight savings time? Yes. Just let's get it. Let's get rid of it. Don't need it anymore. Not every state uses it now, so we definitely need to get rid of it. But again, I think you will continue to see these type of attacks happening, which is not a good thing. So guys, we're at 189. We need 11 more thumbs up. We need 11 more to hit 200. So just for fun, let's see if we can hit that 200 mark. And again, I do appreciate it. It's just like I said, it's a game half the time just to see how high we can get it up to. And again, depends on how many people we have in the chat too, obviously. But yeah, now we're 4 away. 4 more thumbs up to get us over 200. But anyhow, again, I think you're going to see continued attacks happening. I think there'll be coordinated attacks as well down the road. I really do. There are groups of people in this country that don't want this country to be successful. They don't like it. They want to spread terror. They want to spread fear. And every time that there is any kind of a shooting, you have the left is screaming to get rid of guns. And that's not the answer. That's not the answer. If you can, like I said, you look at any government that has taken guns away, from Nazi Germany to Pol Pot in Cambodia, to Stalin up in Russia, what happens after that when only the military and the police have the weapons? It doesn't end well for the populace, the local populace. And so, if you cannot defend and protect yourself, then you're going to be in big trouble. And if they disarmed us, then we would be a target for foreign countries. Realistically, a lot of foreign countries will not attack us because we are armed to the teeth and we're willing to use them. So, it's a deterrent. It is absolutely a deterrent. So, yeah, should we get rid of forks so Rosie O'Donnell doesn't get fatter? I saw a thing the other day and I laughed so hard at this, okay, because she made a choice. She left. She went to Ireland, right? which is good. Good for her. Good riddance. Goodbye. Have a good life. Do what you got to do. Um, but her autistic daughter was upset with Donald Trump because they had to leave the country. No, they didn't have to leave the country. They chose to leave the country. And again, who we blame? We blame Trump. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, you know. So, but what like I said, if you don't like it here, leave. Goodbye. Good luck to you. You know. But I thank you, Jeannie. She says, I hope your Thanksgiving was wonderful. It was really nice, honestly. It was fantastic going up and seeing family and being with family. My sister, at one point, put her arms around me and said, I'm really glad you're here because it's not the same without you here. And I appreciated that. And I got to carve the turkey again this year, which was cool. So I like being able to do that. It's all part of the fun of it. And getting to see everybody. Oh my God, I gotta tell you guys this one, right? So Jeannie's boys, the two younger boys, Jesse is 22. He's 2 years younger than the twins. But the two younger one, Colton and Ziggy, they are 12 and 14. So, and so we were saying something. I'm like, school is crap. I said, it's a waste of time. She goes, oh, Uncle Eddie, don't tell them that. She goes, they're good boys. I said, oh, so I said, should I tell them some stories about their mother? And she's like, no, 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 no. Which I laughed, because she was like, try to be a good influence. I said, I'm not a good influence because I know what a joke school is. So, but yeah, I was just, that was fun. So I was having fun messing with her, Yeah, don't act like you're poly purebred now because Uncle Ed knows. But she's a good kid. She's what 40 something years old now. She'll always be a kid though to me. So, but yeah, it's they're it was good to see everybody, spend time with everybody, spend time with mom. So Heather says to me, I want to get something for grandma. She goes, what should I get? I said, oh, I know what you get grandma. Amaretto, Dicerno Amaretto. She loves it, loves it. So we had stopped at the liquor store on the way down and got a good old bottle of Amaretto for grandma and gave her that. And she had a glass of that while we were there. So I had a beer and she was drinking her Amaretto. So she goes, I haven't had this since you got it for me. She goes, a long time ago. And I'm like, oh my God, it's too funny. But yeah, so she got a big old bottle of Amaretto to take back with her to her apartment. So I'm sure she'll take care of that. So that was cool. That was nice. And but like I said, it was really nice to be able to go up, spend time, especially with Heather and Eddie. And I have a short that I got to put up yet that I just haven't put up yet of me and the twins. So getting ready to go have pizza the one day. I will put that up. I will definitely put that up. So, but yeah, it was like I said, it was a nice visit. It was nice to go and see everybody, and like how many more years does mom have realistically? I mean, she is 82 years old now, so and I'm basically going up there once a year, so and but time flies. It definitely flies. Yep, on the rocks. Yep, I put it on the rocks for her. Yep. So, no lime. No, we didn't get. She don't do the lime, but yep, put an ice cube in there for her, and she was good to go. But yeah, it was like I said, it was a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, which was great. We had a really nice time, and you know, oh well, where she goes, they know her there. So they know she's old. She's 24 now, so which blows me away as well. Like how did that happen? How did this kid, my kids, and now they're 24. So time flies. Time flies. That is for sure. So we're up 221 on the thumbs up. So we blew through 200. So that's cool. So I appreciate that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with my favorite saying. I will be live streaming on Wednesday. So look for me on Wednesday. 6 o'clock for hardcore members on Wednesday, and 8 o'clock for everybody else. So I will see everybody then. Please, remember, favorite saying, STD, step, thing, and day. If you set realistic goals in life that you can reach, and then you work at it methodically, STD, one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time, you will get those things done. And the only person that's going to stop you from achieving those goals is going to be you. That's it, nobody else. So if you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. I hope y'all have a great day. Please be safe, okay? Road conditions are going to start getting worse because of winter. Got to slow down there. I drive like a freaking maniac. I'll be honest with you. It's just always the way I've been. But when the road conditions are not good, I definitely slow down. So please be safe, everybody. Have a great night, and I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.